the way I do it. That doesn't mean it's the right way. That doesn't mean somebody else's way is the wrong way. I'm going to teach you what I do and why I do it. Okay? So please take that with a grain of salt, we say in America. Take that for what it is. Don't come away saying, wow, obviously Rick Fay's wrong, because no, Rick Fay's right all the time, believe me. Rick's a magician. He's an amazing martial artist. Okay, but so I'm going to correct some things that I see, and you guys just do it while I'm here and then throw it away when I leave if you want to. Okay? So please don't anybody be offended. But I'm showing you something for a reason, and you guys can then absorb what is useful, discard what is not. Make sense? Okay? So continue. One thing I'd like you to do now is, if you're doing a sensitivity drill, your hands should be what? Right? They should feel. So when Glenn gives me a shot here, I don't want to use the back of my arm or the blocking bone of my arm, because I'm trying to develop sensitivity. So I use the bottom of my arm. Okay? Now the reason for this is not a block. I'm not trying to block Glenn. All I'm doing is trying to make contact so that I can direct it past my head. And you guys that know Tagalog, please correct me on this, but hubad nubad means to tie and untie. So, yeah, that's what I've been taught through the game. Yeah, you guys correct me. I'd rather learn the truth.
It's probably right that time.
Okay.
But it's like
Hubad means to undress.
undress. Undress.
Okay. Well, in the context of this,
It's right.
it's taught to tie and untie. Okay?
Yeah.
And the idea being, he's trying to tie up with me, but I am going to untie him, not let him tie up with me. Then I try to tie up with him, and he's going to try to untie with me. So it's a cycle. I guess it would be to dress and undress then. I don't know. But the concept is what's important here. So if that's true, then I'm not trying to stop this, because if he has a knife and I try to stop it, he's going to cut me. So what I'm trying to do is get a monitor to keep it off me. Then as I can touch it, I can be sensitive enough to guide it past where I am. Does that make sense? So use the bottom part of the arm, okay? So that's the first part. The second part is, I have to be sensitive to his pressure. Okay, when we say energy drill, we mean pressure, not energy, right? Pressure. Pressure. Forward pressure, yeah? So when we do this, if I can do this, that does not work at all. Because if I have my tubular right here, he just got his skull shattered. So this is always checking to make sure this is honestly accepting my energy. Okay? So when he goes to me here, I want to make sure that this is nowhere near my head. If I have my arm at a 90-degree angle, I'm going to get hit every time. Okay? If I have my arm like a bonsai, just a little higher, I can get it out there, and now I don't hinge at my elbow, I hinge at my shoulder. So this allows whatever's coming to touch and pass by my head, and it rides by it, okay? So that can't touch. Put it out here like this, okay? Now I don't cheat, I don't do this, right? But I just let it flop, and if it touches, that's a good indicator to him that it's too close. Yeah, it shouldn't touch. Because again, you're doing thousands of repetitions of a motion that's supposed to keep you from getting hit. Yeah? So that has to be there. Yes. The second place is his hand has to be aware of what's going on down here. So he's aware here. This instantly touches my hand and monitors my pressure here. If I hit harder, he has to keep it off his head. If I hit softer, he has to keep it off his head. As he comes down, though, that hand has to be aware. Because if he doesn't, it's going to hit him in the groin or grab his knife or do whatever. So he has to be aware here. So, my hand moves like that, you just neutralize it. Yeah. Now the second thing is, your paksaw has to be at or about the elbow. If it's here, when I'm doing this, I'm just going to roll over the top and elbow spear you. So that's there. That's there. So what do? My hand is here, and if Glenn goes to hit me in the side with this hand, I just neutralize it. I don't jam it into him. and I don't throw it away and give him orbital energy to hit me in the ear with a joust up. So this hand's here, yeah. This hand's there, perfect. And if I feel like the third energy is going to come out, I go here to his ear. Yep. And you just lift, pat, and bring it right over the top of your head. Yeah, like that. So we're checking this hand in every possible position. Is it working here? Is it working here? Is it able to follow here? Now there's two common mistakes that will happen, and you guys watch, you'll do it. I do it. It's an actual mistake. One of the things that happens is, if this goes fast, boom! Yeah, you end up on the outside trying to pass it, and you're just going to bring that thing right into your face. Okay? So if you do it to me, right here. So this one goes around and check my ear. They'll do this, because they're behind it. So they think, oh, I'll push it. And that doesn't work good if this has got a dagger in it. Right? The second thing that can happen is you disengage. He goes, I disengage and just try to throw up a taunt out. This doesn't work either. Because if you're a Filipino martial artist like we are, well, you guys actually are, right? What's going to happen is he's just going to go high, low, high again. So I go like this, I get his hand to come up, and if he doesn't follow it, if he just flips it up, then I take the low one. Right? And that's what they call the blue worm. And the intestine pops out. Okay? Because this is, again, made for weapons, guys. This is stick drill. Right? And we can do that later on if you guys haven't done that before, too. It's very fun. All right? So, checking here. Is that working? Is it working here? Does he follow? Yeah, and just lift underneath him. Yeah. And for the new guys in the group, make it wide and slow. When they start to pick it up, pick up the speed a little bit. Don't just check it. Lift it right over the top of your head. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Now the fourth line is I got to make sure this hand is awake. This hand has to be aware of what's going on too. Because there's something called the third hand principle in Kali. Have you seen that one before? Okay, so we have one hand, two hands, three hands. So here, all I'm going to do is shift my center line, and I'm going to attack his eyeball. Yes! And what you need to do is just bring that right to the center line and attack my eye. It closes the center line, and we're back here again. So that hand, even in his attack, he's aware of what's going on, and he's sensitive, and he keeps the drill going. So one check is here. Second check is the low. The third check is the ear. The fourth check is the eye on the eye line right there. Okay? Start doing that with each other. Just play with it. And if you have questions, up with your hands and do it.